So I think we have crossed 2:30. We can start. So still people to come in. So let them join. We can start. So if I'm audible even without mic, but still the other campus is also connected. I'm not sure. So from Lucknow and Greater Noida, I hope the team has joined already. Can you just acknowledge?
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Santil sir. I'm Zaidi here.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Your voice is absolutely clear.
Good afternoon, sir. A.K. Chaudhary here.
Yes, sir. Lucknow team has joined.
Very good afternoon, Chaudhary sir. So I hope I'm audible, yeah? So we can start?
Yes, very much audible, sir. Very much audible. Very clear.
Right. Perfect. All right. Thank you. I will request everyone to quickly settle down so that we can start. I hope everyone has got your username and password from the HOIs. If you have not got that, then maybe you can take it from the respective HOIs because it has been already sent by Dr. Bansal to the concerned HOIs. Okay. The URL is also mentioned there. The username and password is given for your counter.
Yes, we have got.
Brief, you will be sharing you the URL and also the login ID and password. You will get it from them. And once you get that, based on our today's discussion, you can try multiple times till tomorrow lunchtime. Right, I would request you to go through the list of graduates who are able to be registered. Now, you know the prerequisites. I hope some of you would have already involved in the registration counter, so you will know. But I see most of the nominees are new. This time you will be doing it first. For you, I will explain it again. See, the confirmation slip is important for any graduate to get registered on the convocation day. Okay, so how do they get a confirmation slip is that once they register as attending the convocation through the Amazon portal, right? Okay, even the pass out students, they have the access to Amazon. They log on to Amazon, give their confirmation that they will be attending the convocation in person, especially on 8th. So those who are coming to attend the main convocation, yes, please. Sorry. So those who are coming for the convocation direct in person, so they have already registered. So they have given their confirmation that they will be attending. Okay. So only those will be getting a link for downloading a confirmation slip. I will show you a sample of the confirmation slip also. So this is how a confirmation slip will look like. Okay. So this has a QR code and who's the graduate, the details of the graduate and the reporting time is mentioned. So now this is typically the confirmation slip. Here you will see in the guest information, you don't see anything. It is blank because this candidate has not given any guest details. They can be accompanied by 2 guests. Okay, so now maximum of 2. So when you are registering the candidate, you will typically be marking whether the candidate had come in and how many guests are accompanying them. And once we have handed over the gowns, you need to mark. This is a new field that we have added this year. Once the gown is handed over to them, then you will mark the gown has been handed over to the candidate and then submit. This is what we will be doing it in the morning session. That is when we are registering, when the candidates are coming in. For some, the DDC, this time it is going to be morning, afternoon, both. So, so typically I will call this as incoming. So now once the students are coming in, by then we will be registering them mainly to register the candidate that they are in, how many guests are accompanying, and have we handed over the gowns to them or not. Okay, typically we'll be handing over the gowns to everybody. So it will be by default, you will be ticking that, but you ensure that the gowns are also handed over to them. So but this is at the morning, and this is when they're coming in. And once they are going out, then they will be handing over the gowns back to us. Mean they will be returning the gowns. Once they return the gowns, gown has three parts like main gown and hood and a cap. So they should return all the three items. You will have tick marks for each one of them. By default, all of them are ticked. So you should tick mark them and then submit. Yes, please. No, it will be with the gown distribution counter, but typically the registration counter and gown counters are adjacent, right? So now you will be working as a team, right? Once you register, then only the gown counter person can hand over. That you can coordinate within the team, but the only thing is you should ensure that once the gown is handed over, you give a tick mark and then submit. And the same way, then when they return, your responsibility to mark on the system, but the gown counter's responsibility is to handle the gowns, right? Yeah, then it will be just handed over to them. You will just tick mark that they have been handed over with the gown, but they need not return it back. Yeah, it is there in the system itself. We will see. No, you will get to see whether the student has bought or it is rental. That clarification will be there with the size of the gown. That you can tell the gown counter so that they can accordingly hand over the gowns. So I hope I am audible even at the back benches. I am audible. All right.
Sir, in case a student has purchased the gown, then also we have to mark that gown has been given to the student. We have to mark it online.
Yeah. In both cases.
Both cases.
Both cases, when you hand over the gown, you should mark that the gown has been handed over.
Okay.
It is just an acknowledgement that the gown has reached the
Given. Okay,
student.
got it.
Yes, please. They don't need to return. See, when you are marking the return information, you will see if the gown is bought, then you will not even have an option to mark the return. So now we will get into the on how you will be doing the registration. We have seen broadly on what is to be done. Now we'll just see how it is to be done. See, the URL is oe.amazon.net/conv. So I will also just open on a browser so that it will be clear to you. So it is there on the screen. It is oe.amazon.net/conv. Okay, and the username will be typically you will be getting a username and a password from your HOIs. Some of you would have already got, so you will use that. Kindly note that on the from today till tomorrow, we will be keeping it open for all the users. All the usernames and passwords will work, and you will be able to register the students so that you can practice. Okay, you can check whether the student list is okay, whether the registered students are showing registered. All of this you can do today, and we will be closing it by around lunchtime tomorrow. So post that, then your login will work only on the day of your convocation, right? Or degree distribution ceremony. Whenever you will be doing the registration, only it will work on that particular day and in that particular shift. Okay, and for the rest of the days you will not be able to access that. So and also you will be able to see only the list of candidates of your institution for which you have got the access. So please check all this once you get the username and password. In case if you have any problems with that, report it to your HOI, or you can write to us so that we can get that corrected. You should not face any problem. It has been configured correctly. But then again, if you find any issues with that, please get back to us. So once you log in, you will see a screen like this, right? Wherein you just need to enter the confirmation number. So this is when you are doing it from the laptop. There are two ways of doing it. I have shown you the confirmation slip, right? There it has a QR code. Either you can scan the QR code or you can enter the confirmation slip number. It works both ways. Suppose if you find the scanning of QR code is easier, all the laptops will be equipped with a webcam in the laptop. So if you want to use the webcam to scan the QR code, if you find it easier, you can use that, or you can even do it from your phone also. But because the connectivity will be much faster in the laptop, so you can do it on the laptop. So you just need to type in the confirmation number. Typically, it is a. Let me just show you the confirmation slip also. So this is the confirmation slip, right? So now you see on the top the confirmation number 152149 is the confirmation number. So either you enter this here on the screen. When you enter, so you then get to see the details of the candidate. You see a green color because the student is eligible to attend the convocation. They have done everything. A confirmation slip is there. So now you see what all to be done. So there was a question on how do you know what kind of thing. You see on the mode, it is written as physical and rent. So that means gown on rent, and they are physically attending. Okay, and if it is, so then you can choose the number of guests accompanying. You can just ask the students, student self that how many guests are accompanying, and then you can just accordingly enter maximum of 2. Yes. See, normally only maximum of 2 guests are only allowed because they accordingly only the arrangements are made. See, as per our saying, so now bar registration, the purpose of registration is only to allow for the numbers that they have already registered for. And that we stopped at the gate, we should not be handling not at the registration counters. Right? You can just only send them back to the help desk so that they handle these kind of queries instead of you handling at the registration counters. Okay, registration counters, please make sure that the students who are in queue and those who are carrying the confirmation slip ready, just register them and then send them in the convocation hall. That should be our first aim, so that within the time frame, within that 45 minutes to 1 hour, we register all the candidates without any problem and then ensure that they are inside the convocation hall. The help desk is handled by the QAE team, okay, not by the institutions. Okay, so maybe I think within your institution, if you have worked out a help desk, that is a separate thing. I am not aware of the roles and responsibilities, but in general, the help desk roles and responsibility to ensure the candidates are registered and they carry a confirmation slip. If not, then they help them in getting a printout at the gate itself, so that the students carry the confirmation slip when they reach to you. So only thing is you should ensure the student is carrying a confirmation slip, and even if it is on the mobile, it is okay because you just need the confirmation slip number. So you enter that and then register them. So is this process clear? Right. So now you can do a scanning of the QR code also. You can try that with any one confirmation slip. So you can just try on the in case if you require, I can also just show you. So on the Windows, how do you do? Let me take you through these steps. I'm sure most of you are aware of this, but still. So you just open on Windows machine. So most of you use Windows. So you on Windows machine, you open the camera, and on the camera, by default, your camera icon is enabled here. Once you go, there is an option for QR code scanner, scan barcode option, right? So you click on it. and then you need to just show the QR code in front of the camera. So I have the confirmation slip on my phone, so I'm just going to show there. Suppose if this is the confirmation slip, so you just show it on the interface, then you get the URL. Just you need to click on that. If you are already logged in, so you directly get this page on the screen, right? So once you get this, then you do the same registration process, right? Clear? So, no, laptops will be there. It'll be there, yeah. Laptops will be there on the registration counters. It'll all be connected, ready. Only request should be that you just report at least 20-30 minutes in advance. Check everything is in place so that you are able to, because now normally what we see is if we give the reporting time as 9 o'clock, students start coming in early also. So that in your counters, we can also start early so that we can stand, there is no crowd in the registration counters. Venue for registration is the main ground on the 8th morning, and for rest of the DDCs, it will be opposite on the in front of I3. For rest of the days, it is on I3, in front of I3, just opposite to ground. Yeah. So where the organic form is there. Registration is common, but you can check for the venue. I'm just telling based on what information I have. So now the registrations for 8th morning will be in the main ground, and for the rest of the days it is opposite I3. There is a place, right? The organic farm is there. So now that is the place where we are going to have the registration desk. And absolutely, that will be different. So that you might be, it can be in F2OD or E2OD. So there are multiple venues. Is the registration process clear? Any doubts in this? Same thing. It once you will, yeah. So now once you will click on the register button. So let's say let me click on this. So now here you see the registered, and if you will go to the list, then it is shown as registered. Yeah. So and you see the list, because now we have made it simple so that you just scan the QR code, enter the confirmation number, and just you get the students registered. So now that is why we are not. And you finally, once you have done this, then you will be able to check the registered list also. So for example, here, so now you have seen the list of students who have been registered. We have just on a sample, we have registered some 5 of the students. You see the registered list. This will be useful for you once you have done all the registrations. For you to do the degree distribution, this can be useful. You can also export it onto an Excel and then use it. In case if you need a printout of this, you can still do that. Is this process clear? Very simple and straightforward. And on the second half, on the same screen, you see once you have registered the candidate. Now let me. So once this candidate is registered, so now this is for the second half. You see at the bottom, right? So now to be marked in the second half after collecting the gowns back. So now here you will see gown, hood and cap, right? You just tick mark the items that you receive and then just mark it as returned, right? So once this is done, then the entire this thing is over. So now that's all need to be done for each of the candidates. This will have to be done very carefully. Please ensure this entry is done promptly on the day itself, because this is used for refunding the candidate, right? If this is not done, then the candidates don't get the refund in time. Then they start writing to HOIs, to a few in the institution. It becomes a big trouble. So now maybe once you are getting the things wrong, you can tell the students in the morning itself that they should get back to the counters and ensure that they return the gowns and get this entered in the system. So any doubts, any queries? Is a yes, please. If you don't tick that, and then accordingly, then their deposit will be debited. Yeah, yeah. It'll add, see, anyway, you need to have a system wherever you collect. Either you need to have some system which is connected to internet to do this. So typically, it is done at the registration counters only. Sorry. Sorry, I would request if you have queries, you can directly post to me instead of cross talking. I am not able to hear. Sir, for returning the gowns? Right. So in that case, then there will be no entry. Then the entire amount that they deposited will be forfeited. Yeah.
So like I'm in a morning shift, so what time I'm supposed to wait? 6 o'clock, or I can back up my work at 0 o'clock, or I can contact the student for that matter.
See, I think it will typically will have to be coordinated within the institution where, because now a degree distribution ceremony, once that is all over, once that venue is vacated, then there is no, and then you waiting still, right? So, but that is why I said now you will see in the format itself the timings for all the programs. It's all clearly mentioned in the guidelines. Right. But showing the mobile number of the students will be a problem for yeah, it is pretty easier, but it is just that will we be able to use the mobile numbers is the problem. Let me just check. Right. All right. Okay. Silence, please. Silence, please. Yes, please. See, what I would suggest is just visit amity.edu/convocation. amity.edu/convocation. You will find the general guidelines which have been issued to the students there. Okay, so now you will find most of the guidelines. Yeah, see, typically the count return will have to happen in a designated place. It is there in the guidelines itself. Please refer to that. It will be clear because normally it is done at the registration desk only, because now where you have the gown counters, so there only then they can be collected, because entries can be. Yeah, same thing will happen this time also. But only thing is, the earlier registration counter and gown counters were different. It used to be in the main ground only, right? So there people were. It used to be there till evening. So the same practice we will follow this time also.
The entry can be done, like the system, the entry can be done, and then the gown can be done.
Yeah, absolutely. Any other questions? This entire discussion is about registration only, right? This team, I suppose, the responsibility of this team is to ensure the students are registered in time, and that too as quickly as possible, and send them for DDC or for the convocation hall, right? It is for all the days. If it is on 8th, then it is for the main convocation. If it is for the other days, then for the respective degree distribution.
Okay, so for both the days, the registration team of department will be in the main ground and in I3 opposite ground.
Yeah. So I see, depending upon the day. So if suppose if it is on 8th, then the venue is main ground. On all other days, it is going to be opposite I3. So that is going to be the venue. But you are not going to be there for all the days because your institution will have on one day.
Yeah.
So you will come on that day, depending upon the day. So when do you have the convocation?
11th.
11th. So now you will be coming on opposite to I3.
Yes.
On 11th, do the registrations and then finish it up. And you will be doing it in 2 lots. Morning, when they are coming in, you will do the registration, and going out, you will do the count return. Clear?
Thank you, sir.
Send them to help desk. You will do only the registration. Rest all, tell them politely to go and talk to the help desk so that they will reach out to the help desk, they will help. Help desk is typically on the gates. Not. They will be at the gates. Yes, please. Any other questions? Yeah.
Sir, earlier there used to be a registration slip where we used to put stamp and signature. So that paperwork is not going to be there this time around?
No, you just have the confirmation slip.
That's it? Okay.
You can put it on the, you can still continue that on the confirmation slip. It is the same thing, registration slip and confirmation slip are the same. Yes, please. No. You don't need to keep anything with you. You just need to register on the system.
And now she wants that one of the guests should be accompanying her. So in that case, is the guest allowed or not?
See, now this I can't answer because there was a process. There was a deadline given for registration. If it is all over, so then we can't change.
Okay, so we should be following with the registration process. If it is 0,
Yeah, if the dates are over, then there is no way that they can change the registration. They can. The option was open.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Latecomers, I don't know how many of you are there in the latecomers counter, but latecomers, there will be a separate counter, separate place. So I am not discussing on that aspect as of now because there will be a separate team handling that. See, registration counter and gown counters are adjacent. No, it is going to be common. Late counters are going to be common. There will be 1 or 2 or maybe 4 or 5 counters.
So what is the registration close time? Sir,
Come again.
Registration close time.
So it is there in the guidelines. It depends on the day and the shift. So it is 8:30 till 9:45, I believe, is the morning shift. And for the afternoon shift, you need to refer the guidelines.
Excuse me, sir. I have a question. Sir, this side. So one of our PhD scholars, the decision that the URC was held late and the decision that she'll be awarded the PhD came only on 1st December. By then, all the registrations was closed. So now she's unable to register for convocation. So how do we go about this?
Just write to COE.
Okay.
So if the results out and it was decided late, then I think for that candidate, they should give time. So they will write to us, we will open the registration.
So that will be directly from examination.
Yeah. So you can write to the controller of examination that they should inform us so that we can open.
Sure, sir. Thank you.
Any more questions? Any questions from Lucknow, Greater Noida?
Senthil sir, we follow whatever you guide. In fact, thank you all about your insights and your learning PPT. We will follow, sir. Thank you.
राणा सर आपका आवाज में सुनने पर
हाँ, मेरे को उन्होंने म्यूट कर दिया था सर. Sir, thank you for this lovely briefing and lovely this presentation. We follow whatever you guide, and if you face any problem, because we have a sufficient time,
can we keep silence? Please keep silence.
Can you hear me, Senthil sir?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Sir, thank you for this lovely insights. So we are here for learning from your side and your team, because this the convocation that may be on 15th. So definitely, if we have any point, we will approach to you, sir.
Sir, thank you so much. So I'm sure there will be.
Sir, in fact, entire my team in the one conference room.
If there is any trouble.
Yes, sir. In fact, my entire heads and domain heads in the one seminar hall in a conference room, they are attending this program.
Sir, good afternoon. Can we have a few questions from Lucknow campus, sir?
Hanji, Gaurav, please go ahead.
Sir, regarding latecomer, is there any fine for latecomers and how it is to be paid?
Yeah. So there is a fine of rupees 500 rupees.
Sir, is it to be paid in cash or some receipt is required for that? Or online payment is required?
So now, normally here it is done through Paytm.
Okay. Secondly, sir, there are different guidelines, like venues are different in our case, but for all students, it might be coming for Noida campus only. So can we post something on Amazon, student Amazon ID, so that they have different guidelines for Lucknow campus?
The guidelines are different, is it?
Yes, sir. The venue is different. Like it is mentioned in your central ground and F block and I block. It is different for Lucknow.
Yeah, so you can please give us the details. We will have it posted on the portal.
Sir, we are doing it for the first time. I am not aware about the role of help desk.
See, I will tell you, in fact, we have been discussing the role of help desk would be, I would request Gaurav now this way, you can set up the help desk can be placed at the gates,
right,
or
sir,
maybe at the reception wherever the students are going to be received.
Sir.
All right. Once they come in, then there we can check whether they have registered and carrying a confirmation slip. And the help desk should be equipped with a system and a printer.
Right, sir.
So that if they are not carrying the confirmation slip, we just help them get a printout of the confirmation slip, and
sir,
then they can be sent to the respective registration counters.
Right, sir.
Registration counters can be placed just near to the venue of the degree distribution,
sir,
so that the students go in there and then get themselves registered. And the registration counter should just be doing the entry of the candidates and the guests and hand over the gowns to them.
Sir.
And in the evening, then they get back the gowns as we have just discussed.
Sir.
And late registration counters can be slightly set up in a different place, so that once the normal registrations are over and you have closed those, then the late registration can be opened with about 10-15 minutes gap. So then the late registration starts, and those who are coming late, then they can go through those counters. And I have sent you the login details for late registration counter separately.
Sir.
So they should be registered through the late registration counters, and then they can follow the late registration process.
Right. Thank you, sir.
Right. Thank you. Yes, please.
For ours, the date is 16.
Wait, please.
And earlier, Rana sir had once discussed that for ours, the process is that those students who have attended online on 8, they will be allowed on 16 to come and physically take the degree. So how do we, as a registration team, how do we segregate this, or shall we get that data in that way?
See, as of now, we have not put in any check that they must visit the online, and then we can only give the degrees to those who are witnessing online. Okay, so but yes, we are issuing the logins to everyone so that they are able to witness the main convocation online. As such, there is no restriction. But in case if the HOI had pulled, maybe he would have pulled with the good intention that all the students should attend the main convocation because that is an important occasion. That is why.
Taking the down in the late registration counter, they will also return in the registration counter, or they have a separate counter for returning back.
See, normally returning back is done at the same place. Yeah.
Something, sir, I'm Zaidi here.
Yes, Zaidi sir.
Yeah. Two small queries. One is that parents are still insisting that they have not done the initial registration, but they are willing to come now. They have convenient because they came to know that it's in Lucknow and all these things. But they have not done their registration at the initial stage. So can we entertain them or it is all closed for them?
Sir, in my opinion, normally once the dates are over, then the registration cannot be done.
Okay. So that formula will continue with this.
Yes, sir. Yes.
The second thing is that say one of my PhD scholar has just completed her things and now the result is almost declared. So her registration on the Amazon is closed for the degree. So what will be done for her case?
So that I think will have to be taken as a special case with COE so that those candidates, because if we are putting it up late, then we should give them at least 1 or 2 days for registering.
Yes.
So that you can put up to the COE so that he informs us. So accordingly, then we will open for that particular candidate.
Okay. Since there are quite a number of such cases, so they must be doing.
Right. In case if their data itself was made available only after the registration date was over, then we should keep at least a day window for them to register.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
So what is the role of student volunteers for the students around? Like how can we their headline?
No, yeah. So you see, if you will ask me on the registration day, what we should be doing. So now typically the students, I have also noticed in some counters, they use students for doing the registration. They paying you guys now scanning a QR code, entering. They are quite fast. If you want them, you can use them for the registration itself. You just supervise. Or you can use them to hand over the gowns, collect the gowns back. See, there are a number of uses you can use them. And ensure that there is no crowd in your line. So we should ensure that they are sent as quickly as possible inside. Yes, please. All right.
We have received login details for 12, but not for 8. Are we supposed to register them or we are not supposed to register?
PhD scholars. Acha, okay. So there is a counter for PhD separately.
So we are supposed to manage that.
No, not necessarily. Somebody centrally will be managing it. So PhD is only on 8th. So any more questions? Otherwise we are done. Okay. So thank you so much. Thank you for your patient listening and all the best to you. And see you on 8th. Those who are coming on 8th.
Thank you, Santhil.
Thank you so
very
much.
much. Thank you, sir.
Gaurav, thank you, Rana Saab.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.